Well, I don't know why either. I really don't know. I'm just kidding. I kind of know why I'm crazy. Oh, why in the world am I, a perimenopausal woman, eating this much sugar, this many carbohydrates, when everything right now on the media, on TikTok, on YouTube, says that I should be eating meat and I should be doing the carnivore diet? Well, let me back up just a second. I'm gonna try not to make this too long, but a long time ago, I was actually a vegan. I will get on that subject in a completely different video, but this would be like 20 minutes long if we're just, yeah, not gonna talk about that. I was a vegan at once. About a year ago, I decided to jump into the carnivore thing, and to be honest, it is so prevalent. And when you hear over and over again about eating fat, about eating protein, about, you know, the benefits and everything, it's like, I gave up and I kind of jumped on the bandwagon. Fast forward a year later, I have never been this depressed in my life. I've seriously dealt with the depression, and it's like, that is not a laughing matter, and it is, yeah, I'll have to make another video about that sometime. But I have found myself obviously 30 pounds heavier, just about, than I was a year ago. My depression and mood has just been in a place I never thought it could go. And there's just some other little goofy things that I had noticed about me. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that's my fault. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there's just something wrong with me. Within the last year, I've also gone back to school for like my advanced certification. I'm in EMS. I'm in the EMS world. It's a lot of fun. You should join it. Actually, don't join an EMS. Do not become an EMS worker. Anyways, as I'm studying, I noticed something in the book. Like, we're studying the brain, right? And I noticed something in there about the fact that the brain runs on sugar. And it kind of made me pause, because what do you hear today that everyone says? That the brain is made of fat and the body needs fat for the brain to run. But essentially the brain needs like the ketones and the fat to properly function. Well, I'm reading in my, this medical book that is not paid by, like, no one's paying this book to say this. It's just, this is what the medical facts are, right? So I know this is probably an unbiased source of material, and it does get into, ketosis and how the body can run on a secondary source. And that secondary source, which is in starvation mode, or, fasting, but it both fasting and starvation are both in the ketosis mode. And that is the body's secondary source of fuel. It's not the primary nor the preferred source of fuel. The preferred source of fuel for both the brain and every cell in the body basically comes down to sugar. Yeah, I know. You will have people on one side, like the vegans or, fruitarians, will talk about how sugar everything. And then on the other side, you have the carnivore people and carnivore doctors, and talk about, fat. Your brain runs on fat. Your brain's made of fat, therefore it needs fat, yada, yada, yada. And so I have listened to both sides. I was a vegan once, and I've, fruit, carbs, all that. And for a year, I jumped into the carnivore world. So I've heard all of those arguments, and I get it. There are so many convincing arguments for both sides of the aisle that it is really, really hard to decipher what is right. And I mean, it just is, right? I mean, am I right? So here I am, a year later, 30 pounds overweight, dealing with mood swings and depression that I've never had before, and some other things that I'll get into at some point. And I just simply read in my medical book, the body needs sugar. And know, that moment hit me like a brick. And I thought, okay, maybe I was onto something with the vegan world and with the fruit eating ways of doing things that I used to, but maybe it just needs to be modified a little bit. Maybe I need to get back to this high carbohydrate way of eating, because I mean, I can't lie, I was a lot thinner when I was eating carbohydrates. And I don't know, call me crazy, this is where I find myself. Sink or swim, I'm just gonna keep going down this path. I also was afraid of like table sugar, like, I had sugar derangement syndrome once upon a time, and that was during my early vegan days, and obviously carnivore days, because you don't dare touch sugar. So this time around, I am overcoming my SDS, also known as sugar derangement syndrome, and I'm just gonna try it again. So far I like it. I'm just over a week into it, and here we go. All I can say is we're just gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep my carbs up, sugar up, eat as much as I want, and we'll see what happens. But that is why I'm crazy. That is what started this craziness. It's because I read my medical book.